The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
This past week, I had a Masa Noira. As you know, my great Rebbe was Hagoyin Reb Simcha Wasserman, Secher Tzadik Livracha, the Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivas Or Elchanan. The Rosh Yeshiva, he was the son of the great Hagoyin Reb Elchanan Wasserman, Zecher Tzadik Kodesh V'Tor Livracha, Hashem Yimkom Damoy. I went to sleep. All of a sudden, I had a dream. In the dream, I'm walking down a street. It wasn't clear which street and where it was. All of a sudden, a person must have known my shaykhus and said, "You know, Reb Elchanan Wasserman is here. He's here in the city." I couldn't believe it. A few moments later, I thought to myself, wow, there was a Shaila Chamura that somebody had asked me from a different country earlier in the day. I only wish that I could ask Reb Elchanan what were his thoughts, what was his clear das Torah. Sure enough, a little while later, somebody tells me, Reb Elchanan is coming. He's walking down the street. I see somebody much older than we would remember the picture of Reb Elchanan. But it did look like Reb Elchanan. And I ran over to him. Shalom Alecha Rabbi Umari. And Reb Elchanan greeted me. And I introduced myself. I told him who I am. That my Rebbe was the great Goyin and Tzaddik Reb Simcha Wasserman, his son. And I continued to tell Reb Elchanan all the Sfarim that had been published from Reb Elchanan and how they were all edited and throughout the world after the war. Reb Elchanan asked me if I would go into the yeshiva and tell everybody who was taking a bechina that they should answer in Lashon HaKodesh. Immediately, Reb Elchanan asked me something. I ran into the yeshiva, and sure enough, there were people taking a bechina, Yungalite, whoever, and I stopped them. Everybody stopped for a moment, and I said, Hagoyin Reb Elchanan said you should answer all of the answers in Lashon HaKodesh. I ran back out. I looked for Reb Elchanan. I looked up the street. I looked down the street. He wasn't there. Then I saw another man, and I started running towards him. But it wasn't Reb Elchanan. A little while later, I realized that I missed opportunity. I shouldn't have wasted the time on the introduction and telling Reb Elchanan who I am and about everything else. I should have just went right into the question. A little while later, I woke up. So you know what it says in the Gemara, in Brachos about dreams. A lot of different things that a person could attribute having a dream to. Was the dream real? What was the meaning of the dream? Why after all these years, a dream about Reb Elchanan? The next morning I woke up. I went to Shachris. And when I came back, the telephone is ringing. I picked up the phone. It was one of the outstanding Bochrim, Reb Moshe, who called me from his yeshiva. The Bochrim were having a discussion. They were questioning, is today Reb Elchanan's yahrzeit, or is it tomorrow? They said, call Dovid Goldwasser, he'll know. I went to check the calendar. That day was Reb Elchanan's yahrzeit. That day was the yahrzeit of my Rebbe's father. The image and the picture that adorns my life each and every day at Me'ah Ve'esrim Shana. What should we dream about? Gedolei Torah, great tzaddikim and noshim tzidkanios, in aspiring trying to get to the level of their greatness in our life. May we all work each and every day to achieve godless in our lives.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org